Time for some Riversport adventures, and no better person to talk to than this gentleman right here, Mike Knopp, Executive Director of the Oklahoma City Boathouse Foundation. Great to see you, sir.
Great to see you, Dave.
You know, last week when you stopped in, we were previewing the Whitewater Festival. That happened this past weekend, so let's recap that and then preview this upcoming weekend, which is, of course, a holiday weekend, Memorial Day weekend, and then perhaps even tease to the next holiday, 4th of July, all that stuff coming up. Summer just says and screams water, and a good way to kick that off was the Whitewater Festival.
That's right, and we saw that as really kind of our big kickoff for the summer. It was great. I mean, it was fun to see all the different sports in play, from rafting to BMX to the freestyle slalom, and then the kayak rodeo that went on.
You know, speaking of the BMX, I was talking with Chris Landsberger, one of our photographers. He's big into BMX and the bikes. He said that the monster stuff was just really cool.
It was cool. I mean, those guys, they do some crazy stunts, and but it was fun to watch. I mean, they had a crowd of folks watching them while, positioned by the Whitewater, and having all that going on in one place was really neat. And I think it's sort of a glimpse of the kinds of things that we can continue to build upon in the future. And it was fun to see the BMX show, then to see the kids go over to the pump track and then get on the track.
I can do that.
So
I can try.
Trying to, like everything else, trying to inspire people to kind of get involved in these things, in these sports. And we're adding on to our pump track over there and kind of trying to expand that area as well of our operation. But yeah, it was fun. And the other thing I would say, one of the neat things about this past weekend is, again, we had raft guides from around America these are people that are maybe work at an outfitter at a Colorado rafting company or other places, and so that's what they do. They do raft guiding all summer, and they get to be very good at what they do because all the skills that it takes to guide those rafts down those rivers. And so to have all of them converge in Oklahoma City at our venue and then compete against one another, I mean, you could tell the guys were having a blast, because it was something that to be able to race those guys that are in that other company, the rafting company, was neat. But it was really cool because they were really eating up the whole urban nature of our venue. That here they're used to working off in the wilderness or in these destination places, and it's a whole different dynamic in this artificial course. And it was like some of the experiences I had in the early days of the development of the Oklahoma River, when we would have, I was sharing this story to folks over the weekend, where we did some kind of, I would say, turning point events in the development of the river, where we brought in that case, the Australian national team or the German, and they came and they raced and they just went on and on. It was like this affirmation, like, this is great. Well, you have the true rafting professionals that were here over the weekend competing, and they were just raving about the course and about the venue and how much they loved Oklahoma City, and they were frequenting many of our eating establishments over the week. And
you've heard from the local businesses, and it's kind of the tide that's lifting all the boats. These rafters in from other areas, taking advantage of the local businesses, which helps the local businesses.
It helps the local businesses, but I think it says something about our city. It's not just this great whitewater course. It's that destination, that place that, as we talk about creating that outdoor friendly vibe, at the river, that you got to have the other parts that go with it, the good healthy food and the cool places to go visit and stay. And so the fact that they could stay in Bricktown and walk down and go rafting, I mean, it was really cool. And I think the word is going to spread, and we think that's something that is going to be really great for Oklahoma City in the future.
It's got to be cool. You mentioned the river experience with the Australians and the other nations, but this is kind of a continuing affirmation for you, like, hey, this is working. This is what we had in mind. You were sharing a story about what Joe Jacoby saw over the weekend.
Yeah, so Joe, our friend Joe, Olympic gold medalist, who his daughter actually competed, I think, in every event, every different class of event we had over the weekend, SEO, and did really well. But Joe, he was very helpful to us because he at the time was CEO of USA Canoe Kayak, and they relocated to Oklahoma City because of all that we were doing on the river. And he retired from that position, but still remains a huge Oklahoma City advocate, and was very involved in that MAPS 3 initiative when we were promoting whitewater. And we had to educate the public about whitewater rapids and what that would mean for Oklahoma City. And one of the things we said was, we really wanted this to be a community gathering place where people, whether you've ever rafted or not, just felt proud and wanted to hang out by moving water and take it all in. And Joe put a picture on his Facebook page over the weekend showing this older couple in lawn chairs at the top of the hill in the Whitewater Center, holding hands and just sitting back, relaxing and watching the two channels and the events going on. And he introduced himself, and they just said, we've lived here all our life. We can't believe this has happened. We're so proud, and we love, we just love hanging out here. And so it was one of those other, again, it's just another layer of that affirmation. I mean, so
you talked about the rafters, the ones who are engaged on the water and enjoying what we have in the urban core here.
Yeah.
But then you've got the older couple who just want to soak in that atmosphere, be in the environment.
Yes. Which,
by the way, is what I'll be doing this weekend when I stop by. Is more of, hey, I'm not on the water competing or splashing around, but just taking in the festivities that you have for this weekend.
Yeah,
Memorial Day weekend.
This weekend is really all about, summer's really is really begun. And so what that means for us is we're now open 7 days a week beginning on Saturday, but we're gonna have a lot of fun on Saturday. We've got live music. We're gonna have we're starting up tubing and surfing. Summer's here, so it's time to really get wet and get in the water. And so we will at about 6 p.m. each day turn the water down, turn the music up,
That's cool.
and have a DJ actually, and you'll get to go tubing down the channels, and then we've got the wave even more optimized at the bottom pool for surfing, and people just love that. I mean, it's like it's just a really, and it's one of those things that I think we talked about last year. You think it's, oh, that's what the kids will love that. No, I mean, this is all ages, and I remember seeing this dad, who was probably in his late 40s, early 50s, and he was there with his teenage kids, and they egged him on to go jump in and go surfing. And he jumped in there, and they couldn't get him out. He just loved it. So, I mean, that's the thing. And we want everyone just to come out and have fun. We're going to have a candy truck and things like that are kind of also kind of enhance the whole atmosphere. Yeah. So
we mentioned the local businesses, and that's something you've mentioned before, is the Big Water Grill, focusing on native roots, the place down in the Deep Deuce area, local foods as well. Yeah,
and Big Water Grill is now fully open. We now have all our full menu in operation now, all the hot items, and then the local food like with native roots, and it's been very, very popular, and people have seemed to really enjoy the menu and the food itself. And so we're encouraging people just to come. If you don't want to get wet, just come hang out and take advantage of this of what we have with Big Water Grill. But what we're going to be doing is we're going to keep adding local flavor to Big Water Grill and not just the grill, but the retail area that we've got a lot of visitors from out of town that are coming in, and we want them to experience some of our
That's a good idea. You have great swag as it is, good looking stuff, but to continue, there's a lot of local businesses who have good Oklahoma City type swag.
What we're seeing is, the Riversport Rapids really becomes kind of a motivator to maybe a family in Dallas to come up, because they don't have this kind of operation in Dallas or anywhere in this part of the country. And so if they're coming up and they spend their day in Riversport Rapids, and they can see, oh wow, this is, they can see some of these local brands or flavors, then hopefully they're going to go also visit those places while they're here as well. And I think it just enhances the overall experience when you're there.
Been chatting with Mike Knopp, Executive Director of the Oklahoma City Boathouse Foundation. We'll get you out of here on this, Mike. Looking ahead to later this summer, 4th of July, and the always popular Stars and Stripes River Festival on June 24th.
Yeah, it's hard to believe we're already talking about that, but yes, Stars and Stripes is coming up. That is our really biggest summer event. Although now that we are going to have a 4th of July event too, we're going to make that kind of a 2-week span of activities that go on, with fireworks, of course. And so
you guys do some spectacular fireworks.
So we'll be providing more information in the future about the 4th of July aspect of it. But the Stars and Stripes, very excited to have our corporate championships, along with all the other activities that we always do with family activities and attractions that go on for that event, and the fireworks and live music. We are going to be doing live music now on Thursdays throughout the summer, and then on Saturdays having DJ and really emphasizing that fun atmosphere around the surfing and the tubing. So the idea is you can spend the whole day. You can come, get your rafting time slot, go rafting, in the day, during the afternoon, go zip lining, climb the sky trail, get on the bike course, and then come back to Whitewater, and then go jumping and go tubing to end your day and maybe hang out in the girls. So it's
not a bad day at all.
That's what we're thinking. So.
All right, you can find more information about all the things that Mike has mentioned at riversportokc.org. Mike, as always, thanks for your time, and have a great weekend.
Thank you, Dave. You too.